Hello everyone and welcome to our Summer Memories notebook class. Today we're going to learn how to make a notebook using white paper and some twine and some few simple materials that you'll have in your house. The materials you'll need to get started are a hole punch, so either a single hole punch or you can use a double one as well. And you'll need your ruler and a scissors. You'll also need a marker and a little bulldog clip, or you can use a paper clip as well. And you'll need some A4 paper, and then you'll just need some thin card. So this is just from the back of a notebook, or you could use something from a birthday card or something like that. The final thing that you're going to need is some string. So twine, string or ribbon will do. Just make sure that it's not too thick. You'll need about 6 or 7 A4 pages to get started with. The more pages that you have, the more pages you'll end up with in your notebook. The first thing that you need to do is you get one A4 piece of paper and you fold it in half. So you have it as a landscape and you fold it up and then crease it really well along that joint. And then you're going to cut this page in half. So you're going to do this you're going to start doing this with 3 A4 sheets of paper. So you're going to cut 3 A4 sheets of paper in half, and then we're going to make our pages for our notebook. So now you have your 3 A4 pages, you've cut them in half, so you have 6 pages to start with. With this notebook, which is based on the traditional dragon spine notebook, so it's made, looks like a dragon spine, see the scales of the dragon. And as you can see, each page, you start off with a long page and each page gets smaller as you go along. So to get started, we have our first white page. Now, if you wanted, you could make your back page from a much harder piece of card, but I'm just going to keep it as white paper to keep it simple. So you've got your first page here, and then you're going to get your next page going along. Now, what I do is I'm just going to get a pencil, and I just use my ruler to decide what the next page is going to be. So what I do is I put it against the edge of my paper, and then I draw a line. So then I'm going to cut this bit off. So this will be my first back page, and then this will be the next page, and it'll be this much shorter. So I'm just going to chop that off. Now, when you chop it off, keep those little bits here. So keep these offcuts because we'll be able to use them. So then you have your next page. I'm going to put it there. Then get your next A4 piece of paper. Now you need to make this shorter again. So you can put your offcut on your page and then lay the ruler against it. Okay. And then draw a line. Okay. So then gets a little bit shorter again. So cut that again. Now you can make these gaps much thinner. If you wanted to fit more pages in your notebook, you can make the gaps much thinner. So keep that offcut again. So lay your next page along, and this time we need to make it, so lay your offcut down, put your ruler against it, and draw the line and cut. As the offcuts get bigger as well, you'll be able to use those as pages. So that's our next page. Get this page here, lay it down, and put my ruler against the offcut, draw your line, and cut that out. So every time you have a new page, it gets a little bit smaller. So as you can see there, got different pages of different lengths. Now, I don't want to see those pencil lines, so I'll turn my pages over so that I can't see the pencil lines on my front. So just hiding them in behind. Now this offcut, I'm going to be able to use that as a page. Now you can see the gap between those two is much shorter. And then I'm going to have that one there. And I want to actually, so the gap between, say, this page here and the next one, I want to put another page inside there. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So get another page here. Make sure these are all nice and neat. Okay. And we're going to draw a line. So I want a line between these two here, between here and here. I'm going to draw a line. Now, how many pages you put in your book is completely up to you. You could stop at the amount you have, or you could keep adding them in. keep adding more in. And if you're doing it with younger children, you could have more pages that are the same length. If they get confused with making them all different sizes, you could just have a bunch that are all the same length, okay? So we've got quite a few here, and I'm happy with that. I've got enough pages there for my dragon spine. So what I do is I get them all nice and neatly together, tap them down, and use a bulldog clip to hold them all together. The next step we're going to work on is this part, okay? So I'm going to call this the little pouch that's going to hold everything together. So we're going to make our pouch. For this, you just need either, you can use like a piece of paper from like a birthday card if you want to, or anything like that. I just have, say if you had a birthday card, you could use the spine, see that part there, and then you just cut it to size, okay? I'm just going to use the page from a notebook, so I'll show you how it is. You don't want it to be too thick. The first thing that you do is you need to make it the same height as your notebook. So lay your paper down, okay, I need to get my pencil, lay it down there, and then draw a line along it, okay? So I'm going to cut that out, because I know this is the height that I want my little pouch to be. Cut that out, get rid of your offcut for the minute. So now what you're going to do is, you're going to measure out 9 centimeters, okay? So I put one mark at the top, one mark at the bottom, and then I join them up. And I cut those out. Now I need to fold this over in half to make my pouch. So make sure that it lines up. And I use my ruler to squish it down because hard card is hard to squish down, okay? So now you see you have that little pouch that's going to hold all our pages together. All right, so it's the height of your notebook and the overall width of it was 9 centimeters. All right, so that's enough. It's going to hold my pages, but I'm still going to be able to see the first page in my notebook. The next step is making our holes. See the holes there for our string to go through. Now, for this, I've written out the measurements here. So get your ruler, and you just need a marker, and starting at 0 you're going to make a mark at 1 centimeter. Okay, so actually I should go in, I've gone too far out there. 1 centimeter, then the next one is 3.5 centimeters, 6.5, so it's halfway between 6 and 7, and 9 centimeters. Okay, now so you might need mum or dad to give you a hand with that if you need help with the measuring. But it's 1 centimeter, 3.5, 6.5, and 9 centimeters. Okay. So now we need to make holes in this pouch. If you're using a double hole punch, take the back off it so that you can see the holes, because when you push it through, okay, so push it in as far as it can go, and you see there the 2 blue lines, I can see it's lining up there. I've pushed it in as far as it can go and line them up, okay? Then I need to do another one here, so I've pushed it in as far as I can go and poke it there and push this in, make sure that I can see my blue line, push it in as far as I can go and poke it. It's important that they're all the same distance in from the edge, so if you're doing it with a single hole punch, what I would do is I would draw a line with your ruler, draw a line along here. So you're making like a little X mark, and then you know exactly where you need to punch in each one. Okay. Now, I don't want to see these lines on the outside, so I'm actually going to turn it around, okay? And the next part is making the holes on our pages. So first thing is make sure all the pages are lined up, and then put the pages inside the little pouch. Now, get your pencil and make the hole. Okay, so make sure it's squished right side, make the hole here. Now, what you probably need to do is, I know when I did it, I couldn't punch all of the holes at the same time. So what you might need to do is just take like a few of them together, okay, and punch in. And then, so go through, punch the holes together, because it's important that all the holes end up lining up. So I'm going to lay them down like that. There. And then I make the hole again. Oops. because I need to make sure that they're going to line up. So then find my next little gap there and punch through to make the holes. Now, so you have your holes in your pages and you have your holes in your little pouch, and they should all line up nice and neatly. If you get to this point and they haven't lined up, you need to make sure that they are. So you might need to move the pages around, or you might need to make some of the holes bigger. So what I do then is I move my bulldog clip to hold all of my pages together.